to call me boss or anything like that because I hated that. And so they just dubbed me King B. He said, where do you want these lights, King B? Where do you want this, King B? And so it kind of stuck, and that's where that King B stuff came from.
And it's been with you ever since.
Yeah, it has.
And we all know you as that with great affection, we must point out. 591 Rock and 59. Now tell me what we're about to hear, because I can't tell from the label.
Okay, this is you know those late night commercials for golden oldies.
Oh yes.
And they say send 1995 and you'll get. And then they play a snip of each commercial. I mean each cut, like the Beach Boys and so on and so forth.
Dean,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Before you know it, you've got a snippet of 18 or 20 songs.
Right. Well, this is a commercial for Maisel Golden Oldies.
Maisel Golden Oldies.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to tell me?
Yeah.
Here we go.
New from Maisel, a complete collection of 3,473 golden oldies. Yes, memory makers from out of the past, here to last, unforgettable tunes that will live on forever. Who can forget that evergreen gold by the original artist, Dickie Doo-Wah and the Five Don'ts in a Do with Up on the Rooftops Below Broadway. Yes, order right now for sounds like this by Dean and Bean doing their big hit Surfin' on My Woody in Southern Cal. The late, great Jimmy Hopper with the Tijuana Rash doing I Drank the Water and Got Lucky. The Seven Blueberries in Teenage Love turned my semi over and caught me in the can. Listen as we recall from out of the past the one and the only Tommy Bones and the Shanghais with the Duke of Dirt. I won't give him up. Yes, relive these glorious days of the past with these golden oldies. Melting the record down alone could bring as much as $180 on the open market. Send no cash, check, money order, or stamps. Only $19.84 in Swiss currency. Specify records, tapes, cassettes, reel-to-reel, stereo, quad, bilingual. The box 2001, Havana, Cuba. That address again is Memory Makers, 4701 Century Avenue, Detroit, Germany. And from the south side, the address is Elephant Tusk Road, Jopper, India. Send before midnight tonight, before offer expires.
Everybody else stole from those. That was the beginning. That's where those came. That's funny.
Sounds like a good album.
That's funny. That's the parody. That's the put on.
Yeah.
That's all others stole from that. That's funny to hear that again.
I think I think I did that in 1974 when I was at DAI. I think that's how long ago that was.
Goes back that far.
Yeah,
That's funny.
And it was ironic that I ended up on the oldie station. I played it one time, and I don't think anybody appreciated it.
I've got to have another one before we hit the telephones here. We've got a lot of calls for it. Throw me another one.
Okay.
From the library of Ron Britton.
This is an I Love Lucy takeoff. And the premise of I Love Lucy all the time was Ricky would come home and he would have a guest or somebody coming, and Lucy would go into a tantrum because nothing was prepared. And it was the same episode over and over and over, the same premise, except it was different episodes, and it became the big popular show, So this is a takeoff on I Love Lucy.
But done on Chicago radio by Ron Britton and his company.
Of Lucy, starring Lucille Ball as Lucy and Desi Arnaz as Ricky Ricardo. Our story opens as Lucy is at the apartment waiting for Ricky to come home from work.
Oh, Looty, I'm home from the bandstand. Where are my bongos? Oh, bye-ya. Oh, Ricky, you're home early and I haven't had time to clean the apartment. Oh, Looty, caramba! Hey, the boss is coming to dinner tonight. He'll be here in about 1 minute. I want you to fix the dining room up and have a 6-course meal ready in about 3 minutes. I gotta get cleaned up now. Oh, hi, Fred. Hi, Ethel. Hi, Ricky.
Hi, Lucy. My best friend in the world.
Oh, Oh, my two best friends in the world. How can I tell Ricky this apartment has been condemned and the construction workers will be here with the wrecking ball to knock down the dining room, and Ricky's boss will be here any minute now. Oh, no. The living room and dining room are ruined! Oh, Ricky will be so disappointed, and he will lose his job! Oh, Luty, don't cry. Don't worry, honey, about a thing. I was just kidding, honey. I'm taking you and Fred and Ethel out to dinner to celebrate our 9-year and 7-month and 3 days and 52-minute anniversary. Come on, let's go! Oh, Ricky, you're such a sweet guy.
This has been a Ronnie Lowe production filmed in Burbank, Illinois before a live studio audience.
Yes.
That really is funny stuff. That's
Burbank,
when
Illinois.
the videos of Ron Britton and friends.
I would love to play a Clio card. Clio in Las Vegas, if you'd allow me.
Absolutely. An award winner, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I'll tell you, let's take a couple of calls. You have that ready. I've got your fans who've been waiting for a long time. 591 Rock, 591 Roll, and you're listening to the WLUP-FM 97.9. Let us love, man, that across the table. And this on the phone is Bill. Hello, Bill.
Yeah, Ron Bertoni. That's right. The Sub Circus was. Who's this, Bill? How you doing, Bill? The Sub Circus was an entirely different show from the comedy show that I did. I used to do what Bill is talking about is the Sub Circus, and this was like in 1966 or 67. I used to do a thing called the Chicago Countdown, and I'd play the Buckinghams and the Stone Trees, and you know it would go on for about 5 minutes like that, and it was meaningless, nothing. And then I'd have a gong, like you know, accentuating that was the message, and people would say, you know, I heard that, and I got it. You heard it, you got it. What the hell did I say?
Sometimes the next stage come back and give actual answers.
Uh-huh.
So there were some. I mean, I was 14 years old at the time, but there were some actual answers given, and there were some that like had no answer. Like there was like thing about a snake's weight, and there was like strange things that didn't make sense.
Yeah, well, a lot of stuff didn't make sense, and a lot of the managers, general managers, most of them felt that way. I didn't make sense at all. But you just have to accept me that I'm just weird, and I'm harmless, but I'm just weird. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that call. We have to take a break here for a moment for a traffic update, and well, I'm so glad that Ron Britton is here with me tonight. 591 Rock, 591 Roll. We're going to pause for Carol's traffic update, and we've got more surprises from the Ron Britton Library. I promised you that. So don't go away. Don't touch that dial. You are listening to the WLUP-FM 97.9 from downtown Chicago. I'm Eddie Schwartz.
Yes.
All right. We'll right back, then Carol, and then much more happens.
Okay, I'm not a genius about money.
So let's go to Carol.
Interest for 10 years
Do
on
her
a
thing.
hamburger?
If I'm not bragging, I put up a Beatles CD, all right?
Okay.
Okay, be right back. Gotta hit the wizard.
Then I heard about Cook County consolidation, so I called
Excellent.
312-743-1600
Excellent.
for a free consultation.
See, now you're getting
I
into
sat
the
down with
meat.
the counselor,
Huh?
and in a
Now
half
you're getting
hour,
into
we
the stuff
worked out
those
a
guys are
plan.
going nuts out
Now
there.
I've got one payment a
Bursky.
month.
Hey, this is the middle of the night on a Sunday. Who the
And
hell's
I'm
up at
getting
this
out
time
of
of the
debt.
night?
The what?
It
This
starts
is
with
the
that
middle of the
one phone
night
call
on
to
Sunday, Monday morning. I mean, no one's up, but look at
312-1600.
what you're
The
doing.
Cook County
Well,
consolidation
yes.
program can put an end to these problems.
Incoming.
Guaranteed. So call for your free consultation.
Main break, you need to jog on over to the eastbound lane, cleaning up from an earlier house fire in Buffalo Grove on Belmont Road, just south of Ogden. Also keep in mind for the next 2 years, CTA's Green Line, which is the Lake Inglewood-Jackson Park line, is closed for reconstruction. Two new express bus routes are replacing that L service. Those are the number 23 Washington Express and the number 38 Michigan Express. And traffic is brought to you by McGrath Lexus. Take advantage of the McGrath Lexus Price Increase Protection Program and drive home a Lexus at a fraction of the original cost. McGrath Lexus, the reflection of perfection, 470 East Ogden Avenue in Westmont. Loop FM weather says for the rest of the overnight hours, cloudy with temps rising to the 20s in the burbs, 25 downtown. Later on today, cloudy with snow likely in the afternoon and a high of 30. And later on tonight, cloudy with snow likely early and a low of 28. Right now, the winds are southeast at 13. The humidity is 74%. Wind chill is 2 below. It's 20 degrees at O'Hare, 19 at Midway, and 22 degrees at the Loop FM 97.9.
Who? The callers want to know how they can reach you and write you letters.
Oh, that's nice.
Care of after.
Yeah.
Care of after. Write letters care of after, I guess.
Eddie Schwartz.
Yeah, the union signs. What are they, Michigan still?
5'9" rock and roll.
They're on
Lakeland Entertainment in the middle of your dock.
What'd you say about Butthead?
I said we should have Butthead on the air here.
What's his name?
Tom Ball from Plantation Bakery. Ball's Muffins. Tom Butthead.
I don't see him on the list though.
And I'll get the belt.
When you hear somebody that you don't like, you don't realize you don't like it, but it's like running your fingers over a blackboard, and you know, it just and you turn it off. You turn him off.
That's why they're knobs on the radio.
Now, that's right. And the third level is unfortunately what most radio stations have gone to, and that's background music. Now, I say to these radio stations, why don't they play, if they think 10 in a row is good, why don't they play 50 in a row? Or why don't they play music Monday through Friday and play all the commercials on Saturday and Sunday? And then all of a sudden they're going to say, hey, this thing radio doesn't work. I wonder why. Well, because, well, they want to make money. It's commercial radio. I understand commercials. That's not the point. The point is radio is involvement. And you're paying for it by listening to the commercials that Ed plays, but you're listening to them. I mean, that's really, you're listening because you're listening to Ed and what he says, and then you're listening to the commercials. That really goes into your head. But when it's background music, when it's 50 in a row and then they play 5 commercials in a row, you don't hear those commercials because you're not listening to the radio.
Their background either. You know what, Ron? There are too many managers who have found out that they can run their operation with a very small budget. With few personnel, small payroll, small overhead, and so they report to the home office, oh boy, look how small the nut is here in terms of expenses.
But Eddie...
But if there's no entertainment going on, so what have they accomplished?
This is the problem, though. You know, it's not budget, really. It's letting a guy go. You know, you could let it... I know you, and I know I would go on the air for nothing. I mean, it's just a privilege. You just love entertaining. You know, that's really what it's all about. And money is just a small byproduct. I mean, these people that get caught up in salaries and large salaries and stuff, well, and they start believing their paychecks and they think, well, boy, I'm really it. They've lost it. They really lost it.
Well, there's a thing loose in the world that I talk about all the time, and it's called greed.
Yeah.
And there are a whole bunch of us who didn't get into it for that.
That's right.
And never will.
Right.
And we'll never be blessed anyway with those kinds of dollars.
You're right.
You got to know the many different sides of Ron and the many different talents. You guys, luckily, have saved years and years of Ron's career on tapes from his many and varied programs and characters. We listened to a couple of them this morning. You brought another one here. You're going to tell me a little bit about this.
Okay,
what is this?
This is Cleo. Now, Cleo was actually a cleanup guy at WCFL, and he looked like a monkey, kind of, like Eisenhower. Like, you know, Eisenhower had kind of like that monkey face. I don't mean to be disrespectful or anything, but he was a little short guy with a bald head. And
why would somebody find that disrespectful?
Well, I don't know.
Cleo, by the way, inspired a character that Dave Baum and I used at WIND for years called the Garbage Man.
Yeah.
It was based on Cleo, and what he was was a guy who would come around and interrupt my radio show every night, picking up the garbage. Only he was a city employee, and we were illegally giving our garbage to the city instead of a private compactor. And it was based on Clio, and every single night, the garbage man would come in at the height of some important moment of the show and knock the garbage can over and destroy everything, the moon and everything else. But it was not original. I mean, we stole it from you.
Well,
But hey, somebody had to do it first, right?
Barry Edwards worked as a reporter over at WCFL, and Barry got Cleo to say, "Ron, you're out of your head." And that was the start of Cleo's career. And then we got him to sing, and so what you're going to hear is Cleo in Las Vegas. He's there's this the bar comedian, the horrible comedian before Cleo, and he's like the MC comedian, and he introduces Cleo, and Cleo will sing. This is like
remember, the guy is a garbage man on a radio show.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I love you. What a great audience. Oh, I love you. You are too much. You're beautiful. Here at the beautiful one-armed bandit club in the gorgeous supper room. Wages, Nevada. You hear about the fella who fell off a balcony 8 floors down, and another guy rushed over and said, "What happened?" And the other fella looked up and said, "I don't know, I just got here." You're great. You are my favorite people. The whole wide world, bar none, except maybe in the bar. Oh, can't stop. Oh, come on, give me a break. Oh, I love you though. You are my favorite people of anywhere in this entire universe. But seriously, folks, I'd like to thank you and bring out, direct from the Windy City, the man with all the charisma that has all the ladies in the palm of his hand, the one and only, the singing rain, who was born under the sign of Leo, who just flew in from Rio, the one and only Leo.
Turn that up just a little bit. Not much, just a little. She's my sweetheart. I'm her soul. Sweetheart, I'm her soul. She's mine. I'm her Joe. Soon we'll marry. Never too far. Mary is my sweetheart.
Leo, come on back out here. The one and only Leo. Bring him out, Leo. Right? Come on back out here one more time. Here at the beautiful.
You know, you'd hear these gunshots in the background, and he would be oblivious to the fact that there was crime going on around him. He was busy preaching, and so that was that story.
I've got to stop.
I have one final thing to say to you, Ryan.
Yeah.
This is King Lee, and I'd just like to wish you the merriest Christmas.
Hey, I've got some Christmas calls if
Yeah,
you'd like to.
I sure do. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
All right, Lee. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, Ron Britton is responsible for some things only Ron Britton did or could do, and we're going into some of those. You have another piece of tape for me to listen to?
Yeah, here's a Christmas call.
Okay, we should explain this. For those of us who had the pleasure of being on the radio with Ron and watching them make these, this was an amazing thing. Every year at Christmas time, Ron would make calls just
Raise.
Thursday, but they also
So you'll net $3,000, maybe.
That's Foos?
in a much wanted case.
Yeah, this is
Lorena
Foos.
Bobbitt
I said,
will
can I
go
call you
to
back
Ron
tomorrow
Today,
for
cutting
that?
out for her
And I said,
husband.
did I hear you right now, Saul? I'm supposed to hand you $5,000 in cash, and then you might be able to get your friend Harvey Perlman to get me an $8,000 raise.
Assembly line and the 180 by 90 foot sign that says the pause that refreshes, drink Gilligan's coconut cola.
Oh, the professor made it for me, Skipper, from spare parts from the boat, you know.
Well, little buddy, it sure looks good. What are you gonna do now, Gilligan?
Well, now I'm gonna turn on the switch to start the assembly line. Here we go, Skipper, watch.
Well, Gilligan, it looks like you're gonna have a lot of spare bottles.
And it looks like we're gonna be eating coconut cream pie for another year.
It's primitive as can be. So join us here each week, my friends. You're sure to get a smile from 7 stranded castaways here on Gilligan's Island.
Genius. Oh, that's
And
so
of
much
course, the
fun.
laugh tracks are always funny too. You know.
That's funny. You know the great thing about this kind of comedy? This is you guys doing this for radio.
Yeah.
Right? Creating for radio.
Yeah.
Zillions of dollars are being spent creating entertainment for television.
Yeah.
And you guys go into a room and close the door and use
Well-
your own genius, and you can pop out with things like this at low cost, and they're funnier than hell. And what it takes is a creative person.
Well, I
Comes from a
appreciate
creative
that.
mind. This is Ron
I
Bregner.
think I've lost my sense of humor. This last station really zonked my brain.
It's
so
there, it's there.
I don't think so. I think I've
Trust
lost
me,
it.
we'll find it. We're digging. Another one here says Memphis phone call. What are you going to tell me about
Okay,
this?
this is Chuck Berry's Memphis, Tennessee, and I called Memphis.
Oh, the song, the famous song.
Yes, and I'd call the operator and just recited the lines to her.
Lines from a famous song, called the operator.
And she thought I was talking with her in conversation.
So you're reading lines from the song.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
May I help you? What's the name?
Long distance information. Give me Memphis, Tennessee. Help me find the party trying to get in touch with me. She could not leave her number, but I know who placed the call because my uncle took the message and he wrote it on the wall.
What is her name?
Help me information get in touch with
Mima Marie.
She's the only one who phoned me here from Memphis.
You don't know her last name?
Her home is on the south side, high up on a ridge.
He's great.
Sir, this may help you, please.
Help me information get in touch with my Marie. She's the only one who'd phoned me here from Memphis, Tennessee.
What is her name?
Her home is on the south side, high up on a ridge, just a half a mile from the Mississippi Bridge.
What is her name?
Help me information more than that I cannot add. I only that I miss her and all the fun we've had. But we were pulled apart because her mom did not agree and tore apart our happy home in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, so what name is it under?
Well, the last time I saw Marie, she's waving me goodbye with hurry home drops in her cheek that trickle from her eye. Marie is only 6 years old. Information, please. Try to put me through to her.
I'm sorry, I need to know the way the number's listed in order to help you.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't. I would need to know more information, so I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. You never once lost the train of thought. You never left character. You never left the lyric. Not once. Man, I'd have been rolling on the floor. That's genius. That's the kind of stuff that Ron Burton has been doing for 30 years on the radio. Long before the geniuses have come along today and claimed that they're radio geniuses and people call themselves radio gods. He started that whole genre of radio. And they're radio.
Ed Schwartz, the legend in Chicago. Are you kidding?
Are so kind.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you soon.
Surely.
You promise?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for bringing all the goodies that you did.
Well, thank you, Ed.
Ron Britton will be back.
You're a great person, and you're a positive person. You've got a good heart, and that's what we need more of in this world.
Thank you, Ron.
That's
You are the same. You've got a good heart. I hope you've got a good kidneys and a good look.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon.
Okay.
It was fun tonight with Ron Britton on the WLUP-FM. Don't leave.
Now, the Chicago Eddie Schwartz Show. Are you ready, Eddie?
Jack Taylor over WGN. This is a little theme song right there.